Consumers are paying more science-backed beauty and wellness. Euromonitor reports 49% would pay 10% extra for products with scientific formulations. To discuss this, we have Ahmed Khan from Global Data and Tingsu Tan from Nielsen IQ. Welcome, Ahmed and Sue. So let's start with this. What's driving consumers toward medically validated wellness and beauty products?
Actually, not surprising to see that the top concern across Asia, number one is price, number two is economy, number three is utilities bills, which are very related to cost of living. But however, health is actually number four. And we look by country, health is actually number one in China and number three in Indonesia. And in fact, APAC consumers claim that the health and wellness will become more important over the next 5 years. And this is happening across all generations of life, from Gen Z to all the way to boomers. And when we talk about health, a lot of people maybe think that it's more physical health, but in fact, health is actually evolving. Number one health concern is actually mental health now, which is the first time they claim the number one spot. Number two is actually sleep, and then third is nutrition. So you can see that health is no longer limited to nutrition, physical, but all the way now, people talk about mental health, have good sleep, etc. And the second component of this is actually trust. Trust is important, and according to Nielsen IQ 2026 Consumer Outlook, 56% of APAC consumers state that the product quality and consistency influences brand trust.
So when we talk about trust, what we mean is that consumers are becoming increasingly skeptical of traditional brand marketing and influencer-led claims. And within a crowded wellness and beauty market, promises alone are no longer enough to command that consumer's attention. Instead, we find that science has become a substitute for that traditional brand authority. Medically validated claims, and for consumers, scientific backing acts as a shortcut to credibility, and it helps them feel confident product will genuinely deliver results rather than it just being simply good branding. Secondly, we spoke about a need or a desire for control. What we mean by that is that health, beauty, and wellness, they're no longer seen as reactive fixes for the consumer, but more an ongoing self-directed project. We find that consumers want to actively manage their well-being in a way that feels personalized and preventative. Medical validation, it plays a really critical role here. It seems to legitimize these personalized choices and reinforces the idea that consumers are making informed, proactive decisions for the betterment of their health, for their wellness, and their appearance. And lastly, as we said, there is a demand for value. We find that medically validated products are increasingly perceived by the consumer as offering better overall value, not just higher performance. So with affordability still being a concern, products that combine all of these things, combine that accessible pricing with that premium science-backed benefit, they seem to be favored more.
But with so many claims, how are brands proving medically validated without overpromising?
So the first way is through credibility. Brands are moving away from marketing-led claims, and instead they're anchoring their positions in verifiable third-party evidence. This includes things like independent clinical trials, third-party certifications, and endorsements from medical professionals or regulatory bodies. Now, increasingly, brands are making this evidence visible as well. And at the same time, there's a tighter regulatory scrutiny around health and medical claims, and it's pushing brands towards more standardized, accountable messaging. And this really helps to eliminate the ambiguity and reduce the risk of exaggerated promises. And the second pillar is clarity. So to avoid overpromising, brands are becoming more deliberate in how they communicate proof. This includes shorter, more transparent ingredient lists, clean labeling, and the use of qualifying language. When we say qualifying language, we say that the claims are using claims such as clinically tested or shown to support, rather than going for those absolute or guaranteed outcomes. And lastly, the third pillar is education. So rather than relying solely on promotional messaging, the leading players in this industry are investing in consumers' education. They tend to explain how ingredients work, what results are realistically achievable, what the limitations are. And this is delivered through tutorials, through FAQs, or through science-led content that really helps to demystify the medical terms that are used within the industry. Many brands are also collaborating openly with medical advisors, research and development teams, and even expert panels. And this reinforces their credibility whilst positioning products and brands as partners in decision-making, rather than that miracle solution that we saw in the previous era of this industry.
Actually, sometimes I will look from the number one brands, because the best-selling brands is another validation as shows consumer trusting the product. And with the number one best-selling, it's always like, oh, this product should be good. But what is the most challenging is that with so much noise and claims that it may confuse the shopper. like me and you. I will say that this may actually expedite the adoption of generative AI as shoppers' shopping advisor. According to Nielsen IQ survey insights in APAC, 39% currently claim to use AI for shopping, and additional 40% are willing to do so in the future. With the way AI collects information to make recommendations, we can expect more companies looking to validate their products to help make sure that they get recommended by AI.
So in terms of price, in order to justify the premium, how should brands price and position scientific formulation products? Do you have any recommendations?
So I suppose brands can justify premium pricing by really emphasizing the unique science behind their products. But that said, it's not really enough to just claim superiority. Consumers need to understand what that superiority is actually delivering. So brands should really explain how scientific formulation translates into faster results, higher efficacy, or multi-purpose functionality. We can talk about enhanced safety or even long-term preventative benefits. Education marketing tools like infographics, explainer videos, or interactive tools, they all serve to make this make these clinical claims and these benefits concrete. Transparency around cost drivers, such as advanced ingredients or rigorous testing, it really all helps to reduce that skepticism and ensures that consumers see the premium as justified. And finally, I guess brands should reinforce trust through their reputation overall, their availability, and their pricing strategy.
Scientific formulation is important, but as consumers are becoming more and more sophisticated, this alone will not be enough. We have analyzed the brands that are outperforming and can see that consumers in Asia are looking for experiences, efficacy, personalization, and convenience, but all with the balancing the right price point. The key will be understanding the diverse and evolving consumers across Asia and what benefits offer value for money to help justify them to spend more. Hence, in a nutshell, the brands will need to still justify the value of the benefits they bring to the consumer for them to spend.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, Ahmed and Sue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Once again, those were Ahmed Khan, Senior Analyst at Global Data, and Tingsu Tan, Regional Director of Asia Pacific FMCG Consulting and Insights at Nielsen IQ. For more news, visit retailasia.com.